To you, Aries, you have the, oh, my bad. Um, the reason why it is I haven't been uploading is because there was something wrong with my internet and my phone and everything like that. My cable, it wasn't functioning correctly. It was functioning, some of it, my internet was, but it wasn't functioning correctly. And so um, that's the reason why I didn't make videos for a couple of days. I literally couldn't try to upload the videos and it wouldn't have me, it wouldn't work. Anyway, you Aries have the Five of Cups, the Hierophant, and then you have the Hermit. So you Aries are going through kind of a little bit of a rough patch emotionally because you Aries are kind of you you Aries are kind of fixing your poor self-image or kind of remaking your image. Right now, you Aries may have a very poor self-image. You going through some things right now. You're going through some changes. Says the Five of Cups, the Hierophant, the Hermit, and like right now, a lot of you Aries, for you religious ones, are asking for guidance from the Most High. For a lot of you Aries who are not religious, you're waiting. You're basically weathering the storm. You are waiting and continuing to do your work regardless of how bad things get and waiting for things to not be bad and to actually get back on the upswing again. But in the meantime, a lot of you Aries right now are going through a very powerful, emotional, transformational time right now because you Aries legitimately want to, well, not want to, you are going through something emotionally where you're trying to get to some sort of an epiphany, some sort of emotional and mental and spiritual breakthrough. And the Queen of Cups and the Ten of Cups speaks to like the emotional breakthrough that you want to have, which is a limitation basically that you Aries had emotionally. So, you know, your attachment to family, certain family members, or your attachment to certain significant others or people that you may love romantically, or because Aries, y'all are hopeless romantics. Y'all could be hopeless romantics where it's like, y'all could be getting y'all heartbroken and stuff like this because you want to find someone that's good for you, and it just don't seem like people are interested in love. It just seemed like people just goofy. Everybody and their mamas and their daddy is complaining about them not being in relationships, but then they goof troops because they not actually practicing what they preach. Oh, I'm looking for somebody. And it's like, but what are your practices? Are you actually looking for somebody for real, for real? How do you date? How do you get to know somebody? Like, what happened? Oh, well, you know, I told the person that they're going to have to pay for everything on the first date. And I left my house without any money. It's like, you didn't even think about what the other person was going through, huh? No. Why am I not in love? Why don't these relationships work out? And it's like, this is either, so you either saying some stuff for shock value or you being serious. But if you're being serious, that's a problem. That's what you got going on. That's what you Aries got going on. You're trying to figure out like how to have breakthroughs through these emotional attachments that you have with dysfunctional people that you Aries may give a million and one tries with, or you may, um, it may not even be a specific person per se, but the archetype, the the character, not the character, but like the archetype, the same situations that may pop up, right? Maybe you may have a type. Maybe your type is this. Maybe your type is that. And then you keep getting this problem happening to you. And so now you Aries are looking at yourselves like, while you're here and you have some time to look at that, What are you doing that is wrong? What is it about what you've been doing that hasn't gotten you the results that you Aries wanted? Why is it that you Aries are financially fulfilled, but maybe emotionally you Aries are not? And so y'all are looking at that. Where the Queen of Cups, the Ten of Cups, where exactly can you be fulfilled? How can you be more truthful to yourself so that you actually can fix those problems that you have, right? And so the thing is that the Emperor, the King of Wands, and the Queen of Swords is about you have some answers. Number one, a lot of you Aries figure that you're going to be a lot less, you're going to be a lot more no nonsense, a lot less forthcoming, or a lot less welcoming of people wasting your time. Well, how do you know that, right? It's to study their character. I'm going to tell you, Aries, like I told Taurus, it's to study their character. If you understand a person's character, you don't need to know anything else about them. Their character is the heart or the core or the midpoint or the eye of the storm of everything that they do. And so the character will tell you about their value systems, because they are acting out or they are moving based upon what they value. That's what their character is about. And so the situation with that is, so for you, there's a sense of you basically being very intentional, right? That's another thing too that a lot of you Aries may realize, that like, you got to start moving more intentional, more intentionally. How do you actually get to the results of where you want? Well, if you Aries want a relationship, you have to pay it. This goes with anything. You have to pay attention to their character. Don't ever just hang out with somebody, and don't ever hang out with someone for a while and they don't have a plan. Don't ever hang out with someone and they just talk about y'all two are just having fun. At first y'all should be having fun because they don't know you. But then as time go on, you state what you want, that you want something real. They should accommodate that. If they're serious as well, they should want something real too. And they should feel happy that you Aries want something real, because they want something real also, and they should accommodate that. If they are not looking to accommodate that, and I've talked about this before, if they're saying one thing, doing another, you really can't take them seriously. This is why, a lot of people on the internet don't get taken seriously. This is why the videos get made, because you have a lot of people who put other people in the group chat, excuse me. They come to the internet and they talk about why can't they find anybody, but they're making kind of a mockery of their own self and making their self look bad, and kind of setting it up to where no one should take them seriously because of the way that they're carrying themselves. Why don't anyone choose them and take them seriously? But then it's, oh, well, the person that I'm going to go with has to have this, and they have to have this, and they have to have that. And it's like, but why though? Because that's not conducive to the person's character. That tells you nothing about who the person's character is, because they didn't have to do all of that. All they needed to do is get to know the person's character. Once you do that, that basically lets you know how the relationship is going to go, pretty much. And so a lot of you Aries are a lot more no nonsense when it comes to that, right? Finding out about a person's character. And the thing is that the Page of Pentacles and the Sun card is, at that point, at this point, it'll be a lot less hard for other people to hide. You'll see straight through them, because the Page of Pentacles and the Devil is that they will try to show you that they are upright and functional and stuff like this, and family members. You'll begin to see the envy that family members have, the jealousy that family members have. You'll begin to see, you know what I'm saying, the jealousy that friends have, if they have it, under the condition that they have it. I'm not trying to make you paranoid and think that everybody envious of you. If they have that in themselves about you, you will begin to see it. You will see it a lot more clearly, because again, the things that they do won't be an extension of the things that they've been talking about, right? Plenty of people do that all the time. They talk about how they want this and they want that, and it's like, but it's the same story over and over and over and over again. And it's like in other words, the people who are the same, the people who are dysfunctional, they're gonna bore you because it's not anything that you haven't seen before, right? At this point, we are accustomed to watching people act like they're so smart, but yet they continue to make the same mistakes. It's like on one side, how many times are you going to hang out with bad boys before you get it through your head to stop doing it? And that if you want a good relationship, there's not a single exception. You can't get with a bad boy. You can't. That's just the cardinal law. You're not going to be able to. So the juxtaposition, which one do you actually want? And then on the other hand, well, if you really want a good lady, you're going to have to kind of compromise on looks. You may not get with the most pretty chick in the world. Can you be okay with that? If she happens to be pretty, amazing, but you still have to concentrate on their character first. And a lot of the goofy stuff that some of the guys be doing, you got to stop doing that, yo. It's pay for play and all of that. Stop doing that because it makes it hard on all guys, including myself. Plenty of people who will come to me with that, and I'm not even that type of person. So it does have a trickle down effect. It does triculate downstream. Right? It does affect other individuals that does that stuff, right? And so what I'm trying to say here is that when you Aries pay attention to that, lets you everything you need to know, tells you everything you need to know, like a secret, All right, so let's clarify the Queen of Swords. Two of Ariel, the Wheel of Fortune, the Justice, the Knight of Gabriel, and you have the Ten of Raphael. So again, there's a lot more peace. It's not what it seems. You Aries had to go through this self questioning because you needed to actually become a lot more self-aware. And so the Two of Ariel, the Wheel of Fortune, and the Justice, right? And it's ironic because Libra had the Emperor card. So essentially, y'all are feeding off of each other. You Aries and the Libras are feeding off of each other. Good relationships with yourself. Life is becoming a lot more peaceful for you, Aries, because you're being able to be at a lot more peace with yourself, right? Knowing that, knowing that when you cut some people off away from you, to let that ride, to let that be what it is, and to leave that there. Even if it's family, even if it's someone or people that you like, leave that there. Right? Because what I'm seeing here is that you, Aries, have a problem sometimes giving people too many chances. And that is a part of the problem. So you're learning how to give, yes, still second chances, but a lot less chances compared to how you used to. You may give people a million chances, but now a lot of you Aries like, okay, you need to cut that down a little bit, because it just seems like all they're ever doing is just coming back into your life just so that they can continue to pull some foolishness. And so because you Aries are learning how to cut back a little bit more, right? You've been doing that a lot and you've been doing well, but you've been cutting back a little bit more, trying to find the right amount. People deserve second chances, but again, it depends. It depends on who they are. It depends on how disrespectful they were. Some people you can give a second chance, some people you can't. And so again, it just depends, right? It depends on your judgment. It depends on certain things. But a lot of you Aries, your lives are a lot more peaceful because you're having these internal conversations with yourselves like, okay, What is it exactly are you doing wrong? See, a lot of you Aries were hopeless romantics, but you didn't get the information because you weren't self-aware. And I've talked about this before, right? And it's not like I haven't talked about this before. Fire signs tend to not be self-aware. And so, you know, you needed to understand, like, okay, you do have people that kind of trot in and out of your life. They every time they come into your life, it's a problem. And so you Aries had to learn, why is it always a problem, right? The first stage of that was questioning, and then the next stage is trying to find out what it means, and then the next stage is getting away from them. Well, now you Aries life is about to be real peaceful, about to be really the things that are obstacles getting out of your way is the point that I'm making. The Knight of Gabriel and the Ten of Raphael, right? It speaks to that, because it's about moving forward and seeing what your future has. Because what does it look like when you don't when what does it look like when those emotional problems that you had is partially because you let these people come back? What happens when you don't let them come back anymore? And then the Ten of, they had enough chances. And then the Ten of Raphael is, you're going to go find out what that is. I'm not going to spoil it for you, but it's good. I'll say that. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Trying to get the YouTube channel to 100K. I'm at 21,730 subscribers. Smash the subscribe button, smash the like button. Hit the notification bell, set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop our videos. Oh yeah, and come through and get a personal reading. The link to that is in the comment section below, called the Linktree link. Peace.